Tonight on CTV, well, there's no prompter. Hello and welcome to CTV News. I'm Marlo, Lundak.
And I'm Amelia, Casteneda, and here's your Thursday news. Ellsworth Hall, the hall on the south side of campus that is home to miscellaneous classes and offices, may be torn down. The hall was originally built as a residence hall in 1950, but since has been transformed over the years. Fred Heberleck, the University Master Planner for Facilities Management, explains, Ellsworth was built as a residence hall, but hasn't been a residence hall for over 25 years. The building has other issues, but is strategically located in a spot that is part of a greater housing complex. While there are no official plans yet, the spot is being considered for a new residence hall.
President Trump signed an executive order today to roll back the contraceptive coverage mandate issued by the Obama administration under the Affordable Care Act. This mandate removed the cost of birth control for women. Rollback on birth control, employers now have the freedom to incorporate their religious and moral views when deciding the healthcare coverage of their employees. And students involved in more conservative political groups on campus commented on the new policy.
I think this gives us more freedom, and it gives businesses more freedom. And if employers decide to ban or choose insurance that does not cover birth control, then the market will balance itself. Maybe employees will go work for someone else. And at the end of the day, it balances out and gives us more freedom.
We do think that everybody should have access to those things, and women deserve those products, but at the same time, a product or service isn't guaranteed by anyone from the government or insurance.
So if you're talking about, let's say, should they cover birth control or not? Some companies that want to, they let them. And those who don't want to because of their religious beliefs, then they shouldn't have to.
Advocates for free access to birth control also commented on the mandate.
We at the center view it as a rollback. It's a removal of agency for folks, specifically marginalized folks, to seek access to agency over their bodies.
It's an attack on reproductive rights under, this mask of, religious freedom, but that's exactly it. It's not a separation of church and state. They're making these policies based around a religious exemption.
This is much more than an attack on women. This is an attack potentially on minoritized populations like trans and gender nonconforming folks. It's a class issue. There's folks who need access to these that are not cisgender women. And so I think thinking about holistically what folks are losing access to, it goes further than contraception for preventing pregnancy.
College women across the United States are worried that their university's health insurance may drop access to contraceptives. Although it is unclear if Colorado State will be affected by this rollback, students like Katie Rochat from the University of Notre Dame say college women don't always have a disposable income to afford birth control on their own. Rochat says, I respect my university's adherence to Catholicism, but I also think that no woman should have to choose between her serious medical needs and her university's religion. The mandate under the ACA made contraceptives more affordable and accessible than ever, and saved women over $1.4 billion in the first year alone. This is one of President Trump's first steps in repealing Obamacare. If you have any questions about how this mandate may affect you, you can visit www.wgac.colostate.edu.
Defend Our Future had an event this weekend, and we have our live correspondent, Amelia Gorlick, here in the studio to talk about it.
Defend Our Future is an organization that works to educate young people about climate change and clean energy solutions. Defend Our Future plans and executes on-campus and community events that promote taking action on climate change. They engage students on campus, sparking dialogue about the importance of contacting elected leaders regarding policy reform. One of their most recent events was a showing of the film Rancher, Farmer, Fisherman. The documentary highlighted conservationists on the front line of American heartland and provided a clear understanding of how ranchers, farmers, and fishermen stood up to protect America's food supply. If this is something that interests you, Defend Our Future is always looking for new interns. For more information, you can visit defendourfuture.org.
During last night's Senate meeting, ASCSU's impeachment committee extended their evidence gathering for another week. Various initiatives were presented, including one from President Josh Silva. His bill, number 4706, regarded supplemental funding and the name change for the Office of Community Affairs. Other topics at the meeting included gender identity, a declaration of support of freedom of speech, approval for a Native American powwow, and the swearing in of new members.
Construction, ACSU tradition, filled the Laurie Student Center Plaza with sculptures built out of canned food items Wednesday afternoon. The tradition consists of a friendly competition among various student organizations.
University and community organizations challenged one another to build sculptures out of cans and other donated food items collected from the Cans Around the Oval effort.
Around the Oval is a really great tradition that CSU has had going on for a long time. I think it's really helpful to the community in general to just find ways to benefit lower income communities, and I think it's great that it also brings together so many students from so many different organizations.
Participating organizations began building their sculptures at 10 a.m. on Wednesday.
Bringing all of the community together, bringing all these cans, having a fun time with it, and then being able to donate it to help benefit the whole entire Fort Collins community.
The goal of the event was to bring awareness to the issue of hunger in the Fort Collins community and also in the university. During the event, judges examined the creativity of every sculpture, and their votes, along with those of CSU students, selected a winner. Slice coordinators began planning for this event since the start of the school year and hope to continue this tradition.
We raise thousands and thousands of pounds each year for our community and for people with food insecurities, which I feel we think is like homeless people or things like that, but are also our students.
Collection Day will take place on October 18th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. During that time, cans will be counted and placed around CSU's Oval. For more information on donations and Collection Day, visit cans.colrostate.edu.
That's all we have for news.
Stay tuned for weather, sports, and entertainment right after this.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Good evening, Rams. I'm your weather anchor, Michelangelo Bustamante. We've got a really busy weekend with all the CSU homecoming stuff going on, so let's get right down to the forecast. Tonight, temperatures are currently 65 degrees here in Fort Collins. Winds are coming in at 8 miles an hour, and your sunset was at 6:23, so it's a beautiful fall night tonight. So tomorrow here in Fort Collins, as the homecoming festivities kick off, we're going to have beautiful weather. The temperature is going to be 60 degrees tomorrow. It's going to be sunny and dry. Winds coming 8 miles an hour out of the southwest with your sunset at 6:22. You're also going to have a low of 38 degrees. So overall, beautiful weather for the homecoming parade and all those other festivities that are going to be going on. All across the state tomorrow, seasonal temperatures. It's going to be very fall-like. In Fort Collins, it's going to be 60 degrees, 61 in Denver, 66 in the Springs, and 71 in Pueblo. So it's going to get warmer as you head further south. Out in Lamar, it's going to be 71 degrees, 61 Burlington, 64 in Lyman, and 61 in Sterling. Up in Craig, it's going to be 59 degrees, 59 in Vale as well, 64 in Gunnison, 53 Telluride, and 68 Alamosa, with 71 in Grand Junction out on the western slope. Now, the 5-day forecast here in Fort Collins, it's going to look pretty nice except for on Saturday. So for the homecoming game, it is going to be cold and rainy. Otherwise, though, pretty nice and sunny. So tomorrow, once again, 60 degrees here in Fort Collins and sunny. Saturday, though, for the game, it's going to be 55 degrees, raining with the low of 29. It's not going to be a pleasant day, cloudy, dark, and gloomy. So be sure to bundle up as you head out to the 5K or tailgate at the game. But the rest of the week, though, it's going to be drying out. 57 on Sunday, 68 on Monday, and 69 on Tuesday. So Other than Saturday, it's going to be beautiful weather. Now your forecast for tomorrow's homecoming parade is going to be very, very seasonal. So it's going to be 57 degrees. The temperature is going to be 57 in Old Town. That parade starts in Old Town. It's going to make its way around the Oval, through campus, and finish at CSU's brand new stadium. Winds are going to be 9 miles an hour. It's going to be very fall-like. So beautiful temperatures. Beautiful weather. I'd recommend definitely coming in a jacket or something nice to keep you warm. Otherwise, though, perfect weather. And for tomorrow's, the game for the weather for the forecast, the game on Saturday, it's going to be 42 degrees and raining at kickoff. Winds are going to be 16 miles an hour. It's going to be cold, rainy, and windy. It won't be the best weather, but let's hope our Rams can get it done on Saturday. So, Tyler, what do you think about the game? How do you think the weather is going to affect our Rams?
Well, the Rams are a 24-point favorite, Michelangelo, but I don't think that they're going to score that many points because the rain is going to hinder the offense.
It's going to be a defensive game.
I think it is going to be a slow, defensive-paced game.
Yeah. What do you think the score is going to be?
My prediction for this game is going to be 24-3 Rams.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing too. 24 or 20-3, whatever the score will be. I think our defense is good enough to hold them from scoring any touchdowns or anything like that at all.
Definitely.
All right, well, that's all I have for you tonight, folks. But coming up after the break, Tyler Patterson's going to have the latest in Rams sports. Good night.
Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Welcome back from the break. I'm Tyler Patterson here bringing you all the latest in Colorado State athletics. CSU football traveled to Logan, Utah on Saturday and easily handled the Aggies in a 27-14 victory. The offense got off to another explosive start, putting up 17 first-quarter points, giving the Rams a 24-7 cushion heading into halftime. Both teams were scoreless in the third quarter, and CSU tacked on a late fourth-quarter field goal, picking up their second conference victory of the season, 27-14. Senior quarterback Nick Stevens had another stellar game for the Rams, completing 22 of 31 passes for 293 yards and 2 touchdowns. Stevens had plenty of help from his friends in this game as running back tandem Dalen Dawkins and Izzy Matthews combined for 205 yards on 41 rushes with 1 touchdown. CSU is now 4-2 on the season and 2-0 in the Mountain West Conference. The Rams will host Nevada this Saturday for homecoming and family weekend. Kickoff against Nevada is set for 8:15 p.m., and for those of you who are unable to attend, the game will also air on ESPN2. Women's volleyball defeated conference foe Boise State last Thursday night in perhaps the most important and thrilling game of the season so far for the Rams. After losing the first 2 sets of the match, the Rams stormed back from an 0-2 deficit, reverse sweeping the Broncos in 5 sets. Both teams were undefeated in conference play coming into this matchup, and the Rams are now the lone undefeated in the Mountain West Conference with just 12 games remaining. 4 Rams finished with double-digit kills against Boise State, led by freshman Brianna Reynolds, who had 17 kills. Jasmine Hanna added 15 kills, and Kirsty Hillier and Paulina Hogarth-Jensen floored 12 and 10, respectively. Team setter Kaylee Olasek was just 2 assists short of tying her season high as she paced the Rams' offense with 57 assists while also adding 12 digs, marking her 3rd double-double this season. Sophomore Amanda Young helped anchor the defense with 20 digs of her own. McKenna Thornlow also posted 11 digs, and Sanja Cheesmich matched her career high in digs with 10. After the game, Coach Tom Hilbert said, "It was a highly competitive and spirited match from the beginning to end. It was a good thing for this team to go through and a signature moment for them. I have a lot of respect for my players' abilities, and they weathered a lot of storms during this match." Colorado State also traveled to Utah State last Saturday and swept the Aggies in 3 sets. The Rams remained the 23rd ranked team in the country, and they improved their overall record to 16-2 and remain perfect in conference play at 6-0. CSU is taking on San Jose State tonight at Moby Arena, and the Rams hope to extend their current win streak to 7 games. The Rams are currently leading in the first set 10-5, and Utah State will be in town this weekend, so make sure you head over to Moby Arena on Saturday to show your support for the Rams for the 12 p.m. tip-off. Women's soccer took the field against UNLV last Friday and ended up on the losing end again late in the game. After being all tied up at 1-1, the Rebels broke the ice in the 76th minute and added another goal 6 minutes later in the 82nd, sending the Rams home with a 3-1 loss. Although CSU rebounded from that loss Friday night against UNLV in Sunday's matchup at Nevada, squeezing out a close victory. Taylor McKenzie scored her second goal of the year for the Rams in just the second minute of the match, giving CSU a 1-0 lead. That lone goal by McKenzie was all the Rams would need, as the Wolfpack were unable to get anything going offensively throughout the 90 minutes. CSU produced their first shutout of the season and improved their overall record to 3-7-4. The Rams will play the Boise State Broncos tomorrow afternoon here on campus. Game time is set for 4 p.m. That's all the sports I have for tonight. For all the latest, head to thecollegian.com or CTV's Channel 11 YouTube. Don't go anywhere, because up next is Ryan Crist with entertainment.
Listen, I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you judge me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listen.
What's up, Rams? I'm Ryan Crist, your entertainment anchor on this fantastic Thursday. So let's jump right into some great entertainment news. There's been a lot of buzz in New Zealand about the name of a new species of wasp. A biologist recently discovered this new non-stinging wasp and decided to name it Lucius Malfoy. For those of you who don't know who Lucius Malfoy is, he's a main villain in the Harry Potter series and is Draco Malfoy's father. The lifelong Potter fan Thomas Saunders decided to name it after him because he wants to clean up the name of wasps, saying, quote, "People see wasps as villains, as the bad guys. But the truth is that the vast majority of wasps and species are neither neutral and beneficial. From a human standpoint, just as Lucius Malfoy is pardoned after separating from Voldemort's allies, I'm asking people to pardon wasps in order to restore their reputation as interesting, important creatures." End quote. Now, all I'm waiting for is a conversation to be had around these wasps. I mean, could you imagine someone coming to your house like, "Hey, thought I'd let you know, you got a Lucius Malfoy hive in your backyard," or something like saying, like, "Don't move, there's a Lucius Malfoy on you." But all of that aside, I for one think this is a really cool idea. Bees and wasps have a negative connotation, so hopefully this will clean that up. With Halloween coming up, the Fritzler Corn Maze is helping people get into the Halloween mood. At the Fritzler Corn Maze, Scream Acres, their haunted corn maze, was open to all ages, where guests had to successfully navigate through the first part of the maze before getting put into small groups to go through the haunted portion. Trevor Fritzler told me more about the maze itself.
That's our haunted house. It's a big portion of our haunted house. It's like 3 acres of haunt that you go in and out of the corn, and buildings and set designs that we've built and designed over the years. Phase 2, which is our haunted section, and you'll have a ton of jump scares in the maze.
Holy God, no thanks!
Including some fun things that we added this year. You'll make your way up here to Scream Acres, which is actually the entrance of the actual haunted house area, and then you get to zigzag your way back down through, following our clowns to nuclear fallout, to zombie clowns, to zombies. And these are my friends.
I spoke to his friend Zippy the Clown, who showed me what his character's like in the maze.
Welcome, children. We're gonna play tonight.
I joined one of the groups in Screen Makers to show you what goes on in the maze.
Yeah, nope. Oh, jeez. That person's right behind us. I really don't. I don't. Oh, wow. Holy. Yeah, no thank you, sir. No thank you. All right. Holy God, no thank you. Oh my. We're never going to get out of here. It's impossible. This maze is too big.
Screen Makers is open Wednesday through Saturday and lasts until the end of October. In case you didn't know, this past weekend the Szechuan sauce was brought back to McDonald's for one day only, and fans of the show, including myself, rushed to McDonald's to get some of this sauce. Of course, it was only given to certain McDonald's. Ours was on West Elizabeth, and they were only given 20 packets. So by the time I got there, they were already out. And this guy came up to me and told me that they were out. I mean, I didn't believe him at first. He was probably trying to keep all the sauce for himself. But of course he wasn't, and they were out of sauce. Once they ran out of sauce, most of the people here in Fort Collins left, while in some other locations that wasn't the case. In Wellington, Florida, the cops were called after a massive line formed around a McDonald's waiting for the sauce, but the McDonald's didn't even have any sauce to begin with. Other fans took to Twitter suggesting that they boycott McDonald's for not having enough sauce. McDonald's then later replied on Twitter saying, quote, "You spoke, we've listened, lots more Szechuan sauce and locations. Details soon, and that's the way the news goes." So, if you missed out on the sauce like I did, it'll be back this winter. As homecoming weekend approaches, many students noticed that the popular Ramicinno drink from intermissions was missing during this week. We sent Listos Castro out to investigate.
With the lack of a Ramicinno on campus, I decided to find out how CSU students feel about the missing tradition.
I think it's sad because as a college student, we all get coffee constantly, and as we're carrying it around, it's just kind of a reminder that it's homecoming week, and I think homecoming week should be a little extra special.
It's like a traditional thing, and they used to do it every year, so why not this year?
So the fact that we don't have this one tradition kind of appalls me, because we should be celebrating all our traditions on campus, because it's our traditions that make us CSU.
However, not all students felt that it was a loss for everyone here on campus.
If there aren't enough people that aren't excited about it or that even know about it, then I don't know if it would be worth it for them to use their funds on something like that.
But no need to worry, I caught up with a representative of the Laurie Student Center to solve the mystery of the missing Ramicinno.
We were going to introduce Cam's Cocoa instead, but we will have the Ramicinno. We did get the dye for the whip and the sprinkles, the gold sprinkles, so we'll be in commission tomorrow morning and Saturday when we're open with the Ramicinno. So all of our game day stuff that we've opened up with in all the retail centers for Laurie Dining, we've done green and gold bagels, we've done green and gold cookies from Eileen's, green and gold cupcakes from Buttercream. So, and we've gone undefeated at the new stadium. So I will definitely have the Ramicinno available to keep that going and keep up the good luck for the Rams football teams.
Well, it looks like we were able to put that mystery to rest. I don't know about you guys. I'm gonna go grab a quick drink. Back to you in the studio, Ryan.
Well, it's good to hear that Rams are staying true to our tradition. If I were you, I would definitely get a Ramicinno a try. In case you didn't hear or see, the new trailer for Star Wars The Last Jedi released on Monday, and everybody is freaking out over the porgs. A porg is that little bird, fish, creature thing that we saw scream in the Millennium Falcon during the trailer. This creature is apparently indigenous to the planet where Rey and Luke met. While it was only on the screen for a few moments, the internet has been making some pretty great memes about this very interesting creature, and this one is by far my favorite. Anyways, the internet isn't the only one who loves them. John Boyega, or Finn, stated that they're so cute, and but they're just Ronits. While we only have 62 days till Star Wars The Last Jedi, I'm excited to see these adorable little creatures. Let's just hope they don't end up being as obnoxious as Jar Jar. Well, Rams, that's all the time I have for you tonight. Make sure to stay tuned for Monday's night sports show, and have a great night.